तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. Regarding the Advaitic sadhana, Sri Ramakrishna is explaining, and in that he says it's a very difficult path. Of course, always he used to advise for all common people in the world to practice Bhakti Yoga, because our own effort to transcend the nature and go beyond is very difficult. Even small desires, ego to suppress, we are not able to tolerate a small harsh word uttered by others. How can we transcend the nature? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, Ahankara, Raga, Dvesha. All these are filled within. How to go beyond? So, have the attitude of self-surrender to the Divine. You take care of me, you clean me, you wash me. Through self-surrender, constant thinking of Divine, try to eliminate the ego to the minimum, that God and nature interferes in your life. We are as if we are invoking. The more we pray, the more we surrender, there is a way for God and nature to participate in my life, to elevate me to that level of consciousness. I can peacefully remain in this world, do all my activities of life, all duties with great concern, and offer it constantly, an offering of my work itself as a worship. And then, when God interferes in my life, it will be very smooth. Not that suffering doesn't come, but we get the right understanding to convert it to a force that leads us to the Divine. Now great suffering comes, or great enjoyments, huge funds or something, prosperity comes. How to utilize it to go towards God? Any suffering comes, immediately, every suffering is a missed call from God. You have to call on God. So utilize it, a power or force to move towards. Somebody insults you. What you have to tell, you tell. What you have to do, you do. Remaining calm within. Show anger, but don't get angry. Calmly. Inside peace and inside joy should not be affected by the external situations, external people, and bodily state. Then you see you are doing all duties of life and offering to the Divine. Now, the Divine interference makes you to understand how to utilize the suffering. Oh, this is somebody insults you, immediately, oh, this is the word. I must be just loving and serving wherever opportunity comes. I need not get entangled here. I have no time. Let me go towards God. Every problem must make you approach God. You get an extra opportunity to turn to God, to tell your grievances to God. You are conversing with God. You are developing intimacy with God through the suffering, through the insults, through the problems. Each time you go to God and report, you are developing an intimacy, a dependence. All slowly you see that God is becoming more real than this world. God now and then reveals Himself. Don't worry, my child, I am there with you. These are small karmic load you are working out, sukha dukha. Pass it. See that new karma doesn't come. Suppose someone scolds you for no reason. Just say, I have not done anything, this, that, and whatever. Calmly, inside peace and joy must not be affected. And then turn to the divine. When you turn to the divine, slowly you will see a new light. You have utilized that same incident now in a different aspect. You have learned the art of utilizing pain and pleasure to go towards God. Everything that happens, you will have a recourse to God. As if He is the shock absorber, you are receiving the shocks and transferring you to the some other part, that you are safe in the world. So this aspect of movement, Sri Ramakrishna wanted somehow seek refuge in God, so that make a way for God to handle you. Our ego resists. I am there, God's need is not there. Each time something happens, I fight with that person, and I come out empty-handed. I have made one more karma. Now, he scolded me, I scolded him. All that happened, I could convince, I could overpower him. In argument, I can defeat him. But everything is becoming karma. I am acquiring new karma in working out my past karma. Now, God intuits you, just answer and come away. I am there with you. Like that understanding. With me, God is there, I have nothing to worry. Thakur used to say, Mother is there to take care of. It doesn't mean pain and suffering will not come. Nor old age will not come. No. All this will happen, but you will be independent of that. Your existence is independent of all external things. You are moving from body, waking alone I am identifying with that body. I am moving from the body more and more closer to my own self. I am moving more and more closer to the divine. Each time I silently bear it, and without creating a new karma, I answer just question and answer. I am not creating anything. That is my part I have to play, because it's a thing, it's approaching me. I have to protect myself. To that extent, I will do no more karma. This is my kartavya. Kartavya will not become karma. I will do the kartavya and come and immediately go to God. I did not do anything, but he scolded me. I told him and came. Now see that everything goes on well. In my life, my family life, my social life, my humanity, what I have to give, my debts and all. Help the person who has insulted me or scolded me to go in right path. This is the whole thing. First thing is, I must not be affected. Second is, his karma should not bind me, bind him. That also, because you are in the spiritual path, God is there in him. We will forget to see the divine when there is a conflict, when there is a contradiction. I forget to see God in him. he becomes an enemy like for me. I am hating God in one way. When I pray again for him, oh, he is Buddhu, he doesn't know, he doesn't understand even what is to be talked, what he has to talk, what he has to, how he has to deal. What can be told? Behind him is huge karmic load which is making him speak like that. Everybody is, his huge past is pushing them in that direction, to speak like that, to do that. They are helpless in their own state. Can we not pray for them now? When we pray, we are recognizing the divinity within. I should not get affected. It is my shield. I am protecting myself. Then I go to God. This is the process of evolution. It is going to make me constantly evolve. So many things happen in life. Each time these problems come up, just go to God and pray for them, pray for. And what you have to answer as a kartavya, you have to answer. Thakur says, I asked you not to hiss, not to bite, but why did you not hiss? That much protection, otherwise they will eat you away one day. So to that extent, just show the eyes and all that without getting affected. Otherwise you cannot manage life. If you get affected for small things, your life is going in a vein. And each time it's becoming karma. Now you are saving from karma. And converting your life into a worship when you approach God. Everything you fought with Him, what you have to tell you told, when you approach God and offer it, it becomes a worship. This is what we see, I used to see in monasteries. Not that sadhus do not fight, but whole thing is happening at the feet of God. They are free from karma, future, and they are constantly evolving, though they are fighting. They are fighting like two children sitting on the lap of mother. They are fighting. Twins, small boys. And you see, life is going at the feet of God. Whatever they don't keep anything as theirs. They don't want, what more they can accept a little ice cream maximum they may eat. There is a shelter to stay. More than that, what does man need? The rest is life given to God. Conflicts come in field of activities, not regarding principles, because they have common goal. So here we see my life is safe in this world and constantly evolving, because every action is getting converted into a worship unto God. So goes the life of, so Sadhaka, Sri Ramakrishna wanted the householders especially to see that the bhakti path is easiest and simplest. You need not tear away from the things. Advaita first is denial of body. I am not body. Mono buddhi ankara chittanina. Whatever comes in life, don't pay attention. And tear away from all your friends, relatives, this, that and all. And that is not the path for the present situation of the world status. World demands a different kind of life now. So majority of, a few will renounce, and they will be, out of them also, most of them are bhaktas. Say a few may adopt Advaita, but Dvaita cannot be eliminated. Without eliminating Dvaita, they practice Advaita so that stability they get in life. Advaita is practiced because the divine love, the path of bhakti, should not become a sentimentalism. It must become a constant, otherwise it will shake. Your love shakes when shocks come in the life. I have seen many bhaktas, when calamity comes, when mother loses her own child. I did all this every day. I went to the temple. I did so much of sadhana. I was repeating God's name every day. What happened last? My child is gone forever. This is what God has done for me. They never say God has not interfered into it. Our karma is working. There we suddenly withdraw from all spiritual practices, from all things we withdraw. And never to turn to God for anything anymore. So these things happen just because of the ignorance. When you have the Advaitic base, strong Advaitic base, on which a beautiful edifice of bhakti you have constructed, it will never shake. Whatever happens, what unwanted things happen, unfavorable condition comes, immediately takes recourse to Advaita. All these are passing events. When Maya is working, when everything is going on smooth, oh God's grace, God's grace. Again he starts. Anything happening, immediately he has a recourse to Advaitic truth that only God alone exists. All this is a play going on. And then seeing everything as a passing event. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Even bodily conditions, sickness. When sickness comes, you won't be able to sit and do japa, just fever and cold. Whole thing, I am collapsing. I am not able to sit, walk. Where is my spiritual practices? It shakes. All these you will see as passing. Oh, it's going away. It's for body, doesn't matter. He objectifies the body. Body is suffering. He is able to sit straight and then call on God. Otherwise, if you don't have this Advaitic understanding, I am suffering. Why did God give this is suffering in this? I want to smoothly go. That's why I am holding on to God. All these questions come. Each time anything happens, he has a place to have recourse, think, and then be. That constancy in sadhana and commitment in sadhana, come what may, I will not leave this path. Let God test me, doesn't matter. If you see the lives of so many people, like saints' lives, how many types of tortures and sufferings they undergo. Harishchandra in the Puranas, what all types of tests and tortures, all that they withstood. So one is come what may, I will not leave this path. To say that a grip is needed. That grip is the Advaita grip. Otherwise, we won't be able to bear the shocks. We'll run away. So here we see that Advaita becomes essential part of sadhana, because to have consistency, to be committed to my path and keep the goal constantly burning. I will not miss my goal. The attention doesn't go to anything. So here and then, bhakti is the engine which is going to draw the huge locomotive, lifelong, constant struggle to transcend the nature and go beyond. Bhakti, love of God, is going to drag that locomotive huge drain with all karmas and duties and responsibilities, family, society, this and all thing. It's going to drag you through. So this is the person who's asking for Advaitic. Is there no path for Advaitic realization? So Sri Ramakrishna was answering that. Once a wicked man beat into unconscious a monk who lived in a monastery. On regaining the consciousness, he was asked by his friends, "Who is feeding you milk?" The monk said, "He who bet me is now feeding me." Advaita. Sri Ramakrishna is asking, can you have this understanding? God alone is the doer. One exists without a second. This sadhu is practicing that God alone is the doer. So he was beaten and he has become unconscious. He was picked up to the ashram, monastery, and to see whether he is conscious or not. They feed milk in the mouth, this, that and all. He is slightly gaining consciousness. He is able to remember. He is able to. Somebody asks who is feeding him. Who is feeding you milk? Whether he is able to identify the person. Then he says, one who met me is feeding me now. He is fully conscious of the reality. Sat. Master. The M says, "Yes, sir, I know that story." Master is continuing. It is not enough to know. One must assimilate its meaning. One must assimilate its meaning. Assimilation is, now I am eating some food, I have to digest it, it must become a nutrition, and it must spread through the whole body, making it energized. So this whole process is called assimilation. It must be coming back to the active state of manifestation. It must be seen in life what is heard and brought up. It is not enough to know. One must assimilate its meaning. Means every cell of yours must be responding to that truth. It is the thought of the worldly objects that prevents the mind from going into samadhi. It is the thought of the worldly objects that prevents the mind from going into samadhi. Samadhi is entering into the transcendental realm. We have five senses, mind and this body, nothing more. Through five senses, I can perceive this world. That's all. Mind can conceive it. That's all the world. But there is a beyond senses. That is eternal, unchanging reality. This is constantly changing flux. Where there is a constantly changing, there is no happiness. Everything is changing, running. Where is the peace? Where is the joy? Today's situation is no more there. When changes are there, it is moving towards a particular goal to go back to the source again. I may find a little happiness or pride or this, that and all in the early youths. When the middle of the years are crossing, I am going to slide down and fall slowly back. This most important part is the decline. Every day I am moving towards helplessness. How I was helpless then? Same thing. I claimed to highest level and again I fell down to the lowest level. So it is changing. Changing is from the one to another. How can there be, when there is a changing, where can there be happiness? How can there be peace? Because its change is a constant changing, is a process of involution and evolution. If the cycle is going on and on and on, endlessly, sometime we have to emerge out from this cyclic movement of birth and death. That is evolution. So, that what is holding on? Again, that mind is holding on to the world. The worldly thought. That is why in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the first topic is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta Vritti, mental states, constant meditations are going on. Manovritti is going on. Can you stop it? You see the reality. The movement of the mind constantly, not one thing or the other is holding on of the world and moving. Can you stop this? You will see the reality. It is turbulent water, you can't see the bottom. Muddy water, you can't see this bottom. It has become like ice, you can't. It has become unconscious, you can't see the bottom. So these mind must be calm and quiet and pleasant to be able to see the bottom. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, these are the thoughts, only these thoughts are making you unable to enter. Constant, I have to penetrate through the nature, I have to penetrate and go beyond inward. Body, Annamaya, Pranam and Manomaya have to cross and go. It is holding on to the world, it is not leaving a way for me to enter within. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.